Oh man, here I am, Waifu Collector, new and improved in 2023. Well, not new and not improved, but it is 2023, that part's true. And for our first soiree into the new year, I want to talk about a game that was announced not too long ago at the Game Awards in December. That game being Armored Core 6. So I'll try not to waste your time and just dive right into this, because some of the decisions for this game have been baffling to me. Now, if you don't know, Armored Core 6 is a game being developed by Fromsoftware, the developers famous for Dark Souls and Elden Ring. So you may be wondering, how is this Armored Core 6? Well, you see, Fromsoftware wasn't always so popular or respected, and before they slowly whittled up to large-scale popularity with Elden Ring, they more or less consistently worked on a supremely niche franchise called Armored Core, some sort of mech-based third-person vehicular shooter or some shit, right? And FromSoft continued to churn out entries for this franchise from 1997 all the way up to 2013. Then, nothing. Furthermore, there's never been any indication that the Armored Core series was ever a huge seller. I mean, clearly it did enough to warrant 5 sequels before this point, but your average gamer has never heard of this series, let alone played one of the games. So now, obviously, after the huge mainstream success of Elden Ring, FromSoft figured, with all this newfound popularity, it would be the perfect time to revive an old franchise. And that's far from a bad idea. But my first bit of confusion came as soon as we were given the title for this new Armored Core game. Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. And really, I don't care about the Fires of Rubicon part. What I care about is that 6. It's so strange to me that this is Armored Core 6. It seems like it would make so much more sense to reboot the franchise rather than sequelize it, because most people don't even know what this is. And when people see a big number at the end of something, a lot of the time they think they need to play the other ones first. You know how many people haven't played Final Fantasy because they think they have to play 16 games to understand what's happening? And it's not like Armored Core is anywhere near as popular as Final Fantasy. So if they're having that problem, it's a million times worse for you. I'm just so surprised that this isn't just called Armored Core. It comes off as such a misstep to me. I mean, maybe this is a reboot, but it's like a soft reboot. Like Mortal Kombat 9 was a reboot, but it was still technically, chronologically, the next game after Mortal Kombat Armageddon. But even then, Mortal Kombat 9's official title is just Mortal Kombat. We all just call it MK9. So I don't know, it just seems like a really weird move on FromSoft's part. But the weirdness doesn't really stop there, because fans of FromSoftware know they more or less do one thing. Souls-likes. That's their bread and butter, their very own invention. They can call the games whatever they want. They can call it Bloodborne, they can call it Elden Ring, Dark Souls, Sekiro, doesn't matter. They do Souls-likes. So, what's this? Some kind of mech-based game from FromSoft? Cool, the people say. I can't wait to play Robo Souls, but that's where the real kicker came in. Shortly after the announcement of Armored Core 6, we got confirmation that it would not be a Souls-like. And I've gotta tell you, this is not sounding like the smartest immediate use of the Elden Ring clout. Because now newer fans are gonna go, oh, those FromSoft guys have a new game. Oh, it doesn't play like Elden Ring? Oh, it doesn't even look like Elden Ring. Why is it number 6? Oh, can I play the other ones to see what I'm in for? No, they aren't available anywhere. It's just all super weird marketing, honestly. To sequelize a series that there is no trace of readily available on any modern gaming platforms, a series whose last entry was 10 years ago, while at the same time saying that new entry will be nothing like the style of game you built your popularity on. And I'm not trying to say that Armored Core 6 will be bad, not at all. I'm more so calling out the marketing. It's almost like they're trying to fumble their clout, and I don't want that for them, you know? But now, let's kind of go over some possibilities of what can be going on here. Is it possible that Fromsoftware just doesn't give a fuck about this in reality. That this is a cheaper, smaller, simpler project, and if it makes money, great. But if not, who cares? Because we can and will be releasing Elden Ring 2 down the line. So we can afford to fumble around with marketing and take big swings and misses with this Armored Core thing because we have a fucking ace up our sleeve called Elden Ring 2. It seems kind of possible to me. Like, Namco could have just went, yeah, do whatever the hell you want. Just make sure that Elden Ring 2 project stays on track. Because Elden Ring 2 is happening. For anyone who didn't know, that's happening. You don't do what Elden Ring did and not get a sequel. That's not how entertainment media works. But another possibility is that maybe Fromsoftware is planning to release some sort of Armored Core collection before Armored Core 6. Maybe? I don't know. Because like I said, there aren't any Armored Core games readily available on anything. You can't play them on Steam, PS5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch, nothing. If you want to play them, you have to emulate them, which is far from ideal. So yes, it's extremely weird to have a sequel to games that basically don't exist. But maybe Namco and FromSoft have plans to bring those games back into existence via some sort of bundled collection. I think that would be really cool if they did do that, but if I had to guess, I just think the strange approach this game is taking is just gonna stand as is, unfortunately. And again, I'm not saying Armored Core 6 will suck or won't sell or anything. I just think this approach is very odd. That's all. And I personally think it's cool that they're doing something that isn't a Souls-like, but probably the biggest reason why I think that's a little bit iffy, especially in the period where you're trying to hold on to your new, fresh Elden Ring fans, is that by deviating from your Souls-like formula at this particular moment, you risk your immunity to criticism. Let me explain what I mean. When Fromsoftware was building popularity with the Dark Souls series, the Dark Souls community was very niche. And the thing about niche communities is they are very passionate. And in the midst of this community's passion, they created a defense. An ultimate defense against all criticisms lobbed at their beloved franchise and any franchises that the developers would go on to create. That defense was get good. Get good is a simple phrase that provides the implication that if you don't like or find something wrong with Dark Souls or a FromSoft game, it's because you're bad at it. You can't hack it. Only people who are bad at video games don't like this. And this community was so toxic with this phrase, with this mentality, that they largely scared the wider gaming community away from criticizing FromSoft games outside of the context of comparing them to each other. And that's because gamers and people are competitive, so we'd hate to do anything that made people think we couldn't hack it, that this game got the best of us. And so after years and years of this, we've reached a point where it is almost definitively impossible for criticisms of Soulsborne FromSoft games to be seen with any merit. And so we get quotes like Elden Ring is the best game ever and shit like that. Now, why is this relevant? Because while Armored Core 6 is a FromSoft game, it isn't a Soulsborne. It isn't the thing that the niche community built a somewhat toxic barrier around. And so those people will only feel partially obligated to defend this because it's still FromSoft, so they'll defend it a bit. But it's not a Soulsborne. What I'm saying is FromSoftware found themselves in a very unique position where they've been nigh on invincible since like Dark Souls 3. And to risk that invincibility at this particular moment when you really don't have to, well, it's just interesting if nothing else. But yeah, even with these seemingly perplexing choices in mind, I'm excited to see more of this game and what it is. I hope it turns out cool. That's pretty much all I've got to say, so, like and subscribe if you want. I upload games industry videos at least once a week, and, feel free to comment what you think about all this Armored Core 6 nonsense I rambled at you. Okay. Until next time, I am Waifu Belector. I'm just a normal guy. I like hentai, and I'm not very into mechs, honestly. Goodbye.